attorney. She thinks perhaps we're at the point where this divorce mediator needs to help Congress. So why not look then at seating arrangements as well? Joining me now, Mark Udall, Democratic Senator from Colorado, and Lisa Murkowski, Republican Senator from Alaska. Senators, good to see both of you. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us on.
So I understand that you two have an exclusive announcement to be made on this show because both of you are calling for your peers on both sides of the aisle here to sit with a member of the other party. This is for the upcoming President's State of the Union address. And Senator Udall, first to you, because you came on this show a couple years ago after an enormous tragedy, actually, in this country with this proposition then. That was after the shooting of Congresswoman Gabby Giffords. Here you were in 2011.
Look, this isn't war. This is politics. It's about governing our country. And it just struck me that the symbolism of this would be enormously helpful, particularly in the wake of what happened in Arizona.
So, Senator Udall, you talked symbolism then. Right now, you know the deal where you are. Senate can't even get bipartisan cooperation for this long-term unemployment benefits for, some 1.4 million people. So let me just say what's on so many people's minds. You guys have already tried this. I mean, the last 2 years have been horrendous. Why do you think sitting together, Senator Udall, will improve anything?
Well, the people I represent in Colorado expect me to keep working at this, Brooke. Senator Murkowski and I are friends. We've worked together. This is a time to reset the agenda, if you will. And I know Lisa will speak to this, but this is a serious speech. It's a speech to which we should listen. And it's a night when we can reconnect with our colleagues based on the fact that we're Americans, we're United States citizens. And so we're going to keep trying. I know Senator Murkowski feels the same way. But we're going to get through this. The country's divided. We reflect that. But it's incumbent on us to be a little bigger than that, to be leaders, to remember in the end that we are Americans.
Okay, yeah, go ahead, Senator Murkowski.
Maybe it's even more important right now because it has been a very divisive year. There has been rather extraordinary political gridlock. But if we can't demonstrate through the simplest of acts, talking to one another, sitting next to one another at a very important speech, if we can't even do that, then really the public should give up on us. But I think it is important to send those small and perhaps subtle messages. There are efforts that are ongoing every single day where Republicans are talking to Democrats. We're trying to work things through. It isn't reflected in the media, in the newspaper, but it is important to know that we haven't given up trying. We should not give up.
And I think we, the American people, appreciate that. But let me ask, do you think, to either of you, do you think that there is any single group there on the Hill who will say, no way, I'm not playing along with the seating charts?
Sure.
Well, yeah.
There's individuals. I don't think it's important to single out who there are. I think there's some people that are saying, I'm just so mad at the other guy right now. Well, okay, that's fine. But
why not? You could say who they are on CNN, and we're going to be watching closely when we cover the State of the Union.
That these people, sign on to your legislation. We're just saying, be civil to one another. Be respectful.
Sit down and get to know that person a little bit. I know when you sit in the chamber and you feel the import of history and you feel the opportunity that's always there for us as Americans, it's a little easier to get to know that person sitting next to you. And I know Lisa and I, when we've sat together, we've compared notes. We've actually made some legislative strategy agreements. And that can happen because in the end, this is a business based on personal relationships. It's a business based on wanting to work together. And I think our states particularly demand that of us, Alaska and Colorado. We have high mountains. I've climbed in Lisa's state. She's skied in my state. And you can always find those connections if you just take a little bit of time.
I hope that this sense of connecting is pervasive through the Capitol where you are. And we will look for you when we cover the State of the Union to be seated together, when we will look for action, bipartisan action in the months to come.
Relationships take work.
I understand. Senator Murkowski and Senator Udall, thank you so much with the big announcement.
Thanks,
appreciate you from Washington today. Coming up, shares of Best Buy.